All right. Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of the Sports Dorks Podcast. My name is Zach Robinson.
My name is Tyler Gavin.
And we are the Sports Dorks. So we know a lot about sports. We like to talk about sports, a lot of different topics. We cover everything from MLB to UFC. So let's go ahead and get started. Ty, the NBA Finals start this week. Cavs versus the Warriors for the third straight time. Give me your picks.
It's been too long. It feels like I haven't watched basketball in a year now. But you can't bet against LeBron James, even though just about everybody is. Him, Kyrie Irving, and that Cleveland team's going back-to-back.
Before we came live, you told me that they were giving the Cavs a 3% chance to win.
7% chance.
7% chance.
Warriors got 93% chance to win this. But LeBron's been an underdog in 6 of 8 finals. And I know his winning record is not winning.
He's only won 3 of them.
He's only won, 3. What, 3 and 4, right?
Yeah.
But that first one is a fluke.
3 of 4. Yeah, he's about to be 3 and 5.
Yeah, okay.
What do you mean?
Get it back to even.
The first one with the Warriors or the first Cavs?
No, the first Cavs one when he was alone. It was him and Big Z against the Spurs.
Big Z.
Really? When that's your biggest option, Kyrie Irving's going to change that.
Well, you started off the first episode with the worst take you're going to give in every episode we do because there's no shot that the Cavaliers win this finals. I think a 7% chance is low.
Yeah.
But just because it's LeBron James.
He earned 7% by himself.
He earned 7% by himself. I will give you that. But I am giving them a 0% chance to win because Steph Curry and them boys are going to take it to LeBron. The first finals that they had against each other would have been 4-1 if Draymond didn't get suspended. That changed the entire series.
That was the last one.
Oh, you're right. The last one. Sorry. It would have changed the entire thing. So this team, I'm actually interested because both teams are at full strength, and it's a three-peat, but it's plus Kevin Durant.
Yeah. And it's not like Darren Williams does that much for the Cavs.
I know. So why are you just picking LeBron?
Because LeBron's biggest Kevin Durant's biggest kryptonite is LeBron James.
Everyone's biggest kryptonite is LeBron James.
And that's the thing. That's why I'm taking him.
You can't just take him in every final.
Steph Curry in these last 2 finals has shown me absolutely nothing. To be the only person to win MVP and then win the finals and not be named NBA MVP or Finals MVP, it just says so much about his game.
I think last season he was hurt and he didn't give the excuse. And generally in sports, when people give excuses, we come down. I'm like, oh, you're making excuses. Oh, you weren't really hurt. But his knee was legitimately banged up.
So you
remember
really like to hear him say that he was injured?
No. I'm saying we need to give him a pass because he was obviously hurt. He wasn't moving the way that he usually moves. He slipped and banged his knee on the floor in the series before against the Spurs or against the Thunder, and he just didn't come back. He wasn't able to shoot. Do you honestly think that Steph Curry just can't shoot threes because it's the finals?
I think that big stage has him. It has him shook. And I think LeBron, after those blocks last year, has him worried about what's going to happen.
I think that team should have won last year, and they added the second best player on planet Earth, third best player on planet Earth.
Okay.
Number 2 right there. So the NBA playoffs have been just bad as a whole, I think. What can we say? It's been a cakewalk for LeBron.
There's been a lot of star players involved, but they haven't played like stars. It's kind of been a 2-team ship, obviously.
Yeah, well, Kawhi going down really hurt the Western Conference Finals. I think that would have been a lot better.
Absolutely.
And
it might have turned into a gentleman's sweep. Kawhi might have got him 1, but I don't think they were going to 7 or 8 or to 6 or 7.
Yeah, I agree. So argue they would have won that first game. They were up by what?
They would have had the first game.
They would have had the first game. So who are we to say that he wouldn't have won another?
When they go home, they get one.
And Kawhi Leonard it's very debatable whether or not he should be the MVP this year.
It's amazing, yeah.
The way he plays defense is unbelievable.
It changes games.
He straps people up.
Yeah. He would have definitely had KD a little shook.
You know the old guy at the Y that can't do anything, but when he gets on defense, he'll hand check you and start pushing you and talking shit. That's Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, with the much better offensive game. I thought you were going to Melo.
No.
Defense, I knew you were out.
No, he's the dude that'll check you up and just shut you down at the YMCA. And just
down.
I wish that he had more of a personality.
Oh, you're not kidding. He's one of the least marketable stars maybe ever.
I know, and he took such a low deal just because he just doesn't care about money.
He just wants to stay.
He's such a weird guy, and he could be so marketable and so great. He is so great.
He is great.
But it's just weird how the Spurs just continue to get these guys who just don't talk.
Yeah, that's the pop system.
I mean, I don't know how they do it. They had Tim Duncan for a couple decades.
Oh my God, ridiculous.
It feels like Tony Parker's been in the NBA forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Manu, who might have. Do you think it was Manu's last game? You think he comes back?
I think it was Manu's last game. From that press conference after, as soon as you say, I got to take some time to think about it, you usually got a foot out the door.
Yeah, it's I really hope it wasn't. I love watching Manu Ginobili.
Oh, absolutely. He's the most fun six men to ever watch.
Yes.
Paul Crawford.
There are a lot of people who have done articles that say, like, if Manu was a starter and got the usage rate that Kobe had, he would be a no-doubt he's already a no-doubt Hall of Famer. Right, but because of international basketball, what he did in the NBA isn't really his Hall of Fame claim. That doesn't get you in.
But he's also one of the 5 best shooting guards of this generation. Once you get behind Kobe, Dwayne Wade, he gets into that argument.
That's bold.
I don't know if you can name 3 better ones or 3 bigger game changers.
Well, because Manu has the rings to back it up.
Absolutely.
You can't really say shit. But you know who is a better shooting guard? Maybe he plays forward. Is King James Jones.
Okay. James, 7 straight finals?
7 straight finals, baby.
He's the real King James.
That is why the rings argument is so ridiculous to me, by the way. Because I don't want to get into, Michael versus LeBron.
Yeah.
But the people who say rings. Well, James Jones has
yeah, exactly.
He has 3 rings. He's been to 7 straight finals. James Jones is not better than Carmelo Anthony.
No, absolutely not.
He's not better than Kevin Durant.
When you don't have a ring, you don't have a leg to stand on. And Melo's career is not over yet. KD's career is far from over. But you look back at Charles Barkley and you wonder, how did this man never win a ring? And that definitely hurts his legacy.
Did you see him and Shaq going at it on TV?
Oh, they go at it all the time now.
Well, Shaq said people don't even know why you're in the Hall of Fame.
I think we're 2 people who might agree with that.
I don't know. I'm a Barkley guy. I like Barkley.
I was never a huge fan.
He's little and he put up boards at a rate. He was like the first Draymond Green.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think Draymond Green is great. I think he is the 3rd best player on that Warriors team.
No, yeah, absolutely.
I think if I had to start a franchise just based off the Warriors, I think my first pick would be KD, then Steph, then Draymond.
It's got to be.
Clay.
Yeah.
As great as Clay is. Clay's
absolutely.
I mean,
Clay might play the biggest role in this finals, though. That if he can get that shot, because he might be the guy that they have to leave open. So if he can start knocking down that shot, he's going to play a huge role.
See, that's another issue with why the Cavs can't beat him. Who are they going to guard? Like, Kyrie plays 0 defense. He's not going to guard Steph Curry.
That's who he's going to be on, though.
But he's not going to guard him. He's not going. Steph's going to put up.
Steph's going to put up what? He hasn't put it up yet.
He was hurt last year, Ty.
13 finals games. He hasn't done nothing yet.
Whatever. I'm not going to get into this. I can't stand the Kyrie argument. Kyrie is very overrated as a player.
He's the best closer in basketball right now.
He's extremely one-dimensional, and no, he is not the best closer in basketball.
When you have the best player in the world deferring to him in the final 2 minutes.
You know who hits 40% of his shots in the last 5 seconds of games, Ty?
The guy who's sitting on his couch right now.
The guy on my jersey, boy. 40% of his shots in the last 5 seconds of basketball games. He is a better finisher than Michael or Kobe or LeBron or stupid-ass Kyrie.
Too bad he hasn't been discovered in the playoffs because he never makes it.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault. All right. You know what has been good, though, is the NHL playoffs.
They've been great.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm a Rangers fan. Rangers got knocked out early.
Same with the Blackhawks. That's what I pull for. Patrick Kane, man. Most fun player to watch.
Why don't you go
Irving in basketball?
Why don't you go ahead and tell people your teams? Why don't you go ahead?
They're a struggle. They're a real struggle. But I'm going to start with the Browns because that's where my heart and soul lays. And I got the Mets, the Heat, And I don't really follow hockey, but when I do pull for a team, it's the Blackhawks.
So you root for arguably the best hockey team. You became a Heat fan when LeBron came.
Get out of here. Don't even tell this on that broadcast.
You became a Mets fan when they made the World Series.
Yeah.
You are the biggest bandwagon there is.
Okay. And the Browns right there put to bed the bandwagon argument.
You're from Cleveland. That's what we'll say.
Okay.
But yes, the NHL playoffs have just been outstanding. And we were talking about this earlier, but there's nobody more deserving of a Lord Stanley's Cup than PK Subban.
Yeah. He deserves to. I don't know how many times he even made it with the Canadians into the playoffs. So for him to finally get hit, was it 0?
Well, not he didn't make a finals.
Oh, he never made a final. Yeah, I know. I mean, even just a playoffs. I never really even heard him making an impact. But to get on Smashville completely changed that organization. It seems like it's changing the town. He definitely deserves to win.
Yeah, I was just in Nashville and Memphis last week, and there are Subban jerseys.
Oh, yeah?
People in Nashville wearing hockey jerseys.
It's probably hot as hell out there, too.
I know it is, yeah.
Grind it out.
It's crazy. They love him there. I like PK Subban. He's got so much sauce. He is a great defensive player whose offense is pertinent to them winning.
Yeah.
Last game,
weird as a defenseman.
It is. That's what's weird about him. Last game, his goal was the difference. The goal that got called back.
Yeah.
Was the difference. Now, I think the Preds were like plus 200 or something like that coming into the finals. They were the last seed of the entire playoffs.
It's incredible.
And, they have had just an incredible run. I would love to see them win this next game so we can at least stretch it out. I think you let the Pens win 2 in a row, it might be over.
Yeah, it's going to be hard because they definitely play well on opposing ice. Just ask Washington.
Poor Cavs. Cavs are the funniest thing in sports to me, man, because they're so good and they just cannot make it out of the conference.
They might have the best 2 lines in hockey, and they just can't catch a break.
Ovechkin is so overrated. It's so funny.
So overrated.
He's so overrated. He can't do anything in the playoffs. He's not even the Steph Curry level because once he gets to the playoffs, he just folds. Steph's at least good in the playoffs.
Yeah, until the big game.
Well, he was hurt.
But Ovechkin, I'm pretty sure, is the top 20 point scorer of all time. Can't call him overrated.
Yeah, he can.
No.
We just called Charles Barkley overrated.
He's not top 20 all time. Maybe in rebounds, not in points.
He's one of the best players to ever play in the NBA.
And Ovechkin's probably the second best player to play hockey in our lifetimes.
Behind who?
Behind Crosby.
Okay, I was going to say, you better say Crosby.
Of course.
Well, no, in our lifetimes, we also saw a little bit of Gretzky, but not much. No, not enough.
I don't consider that.
Lemieux, arguable. There's a lot of great hockey players.
Ovechkin makes a case, though.
Ovi does make a case, for sure. McDavid is going
Connor McDavid's going to be fun, man.
Dude, he is so good.
Yeah.
He is so good.
What's he, 19? Him and Tyler Matthews, right? Or both 19?
Yeah.
Or Tyler Austin?
They're just so young and so good. That Oilers team is going to win the rest of the Stanley Cups.
And they're just like sweeping them?
Yeah, until he just decides he wants to retire. He's like, I'm bored with this. I'm going to go play darts.
Doing it where Gretzky did it.
I know.
They're both doing it in Edmonton?
I would love to see them both come up to New York.
Shit, you're not kidding.
That would be great. The Rangers have a history of trading away their team captain for really bad role players. I don't understand why they do it. They did it a couple years ago.
With Callahan, right?
We did cover to Callahan for St. Louis, who's just piss poor.
He was way past his time.
He was so bad. I remember when that trade happened, and I wasn't even following hockey too much at the time, and I was livid. I was so mad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But yeah, the NHL playoffs, man, they've been outstanding. Way better than the NBA playoffs.
Way better. That being said, this series will hopefully change all that.
Well,
finals.
I hope so. I'm hoping to see 7. I think it ends in 5.
It's got to go at least 6. Unless if it doesn't go 6, the NBA has to figure something out to get something going.
What can they do?
I don't know. You're not going to be able to disband teams. Remember when they wouldn't let Chris Paul go to Los Angeles?
Right.
They had to push him to the bad Los Angeles team.
About that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe do something like that.
I don't what you're going to just make Kevin Durant leave? Is that what you're going to do?
I don't know.
You can't do that.
LeBron is now – he's not retiring anytime soon, but he doesn't have 7 years left. So when he leaves, he's going to leave the NBA in shambles. Because now it's going to be a one-team – it's going to be a one-horse race.
And it was
unless things change.
Well, I mean, I don't think Durant and Curry and Draymond and Clay will stay together forever.
Yeah.
Because things – in the NBA, someone always wants to go off and be that dude. You know what I mean?
Which is amazing because it's not Durant. Durant wanted to go. He was that dude.
He was that dude. I think he wanted to leave because he was just tired of Russ. Honestly, I'd leave for the same reasons. I'm tired of Russ. I'm tired of watching Russ.
It definitely takes a lot to watch Russ.
He gets these fake triple-doubles, and everyone, like, applauds him. Like, oh, yeah, Russ, you got the rebound.
Nah, he's a great rebounder. If he gets anything fake, it's assists. He definitely hunts a lot of assists.
He hunts assists. He hunts rebounds. He's a terrible shooter.
He's a terrible shooter.
His jump shot is so broke.
His jumper looks like a LaMelo Ball's jumper. You see this new highlight?
Whoa, hold up. Not the – come on now.
No, the 15-year-old kid. Oh, dude, they all got broke jump shots.
Oh, my God, the whole – coming from the
it's
side.
awful.
Like, it was it reminds me of, like, in the old 2K games where you can, like, pick your jump shot. It was like the Bill Cartwright was the jump shot that, like, came around and swooped like that.
The center.
That's what it looks like. It's so bad. It's so bad, man. It's so bad.
Yeah, I think I might take Shaq's jumper first.
Oh, God. Shaq can actually hit jump shots early in his career. Yeah. But what I was going to say is LeBron, when he decided to collectively bargain this new agreement, he did it for himself.
Absolutely.
He made it easy for him and Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade and Carmelo before Phil Jackson decided he hated Carmelo to get all this money and stick with their teams.
Yeah.
So it's like disadvantageous for them to go to a different squad.
Which is basically what Paul George is stuck in right now, right? That he gets like an extra $17 million, I think.
70.
70?
7-0 if he makes an All NBA team next year. It'll be an extra 70. He should have made it this year.
He got robbed. He absolutely got robbed.
Him and Gordon Hayward both got robbed.
Who are you taking if you go Paul George or Greek Freak?
Oh God! Right now?
Right now.
No, it doesn't matter. Right now or for the future, I'm taking Antetokounmpo. The kid's
I'm going to take Paul George for one game right now.
For one game. Antetokounmpo.
Damn.
He's the 7-foot version of like.
Yeah, but he's like, still so young though.
He plays like LeBron at 7 foot tall, like because he doesn't really shoot very much. He just likes to get to the rack and dunk over people, and it's fun to watch. And he's so good.
Man, if he can get a jump shot, he's going to be KD on steroids.
Little known fact: his older brother Thanasis was a Knick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he played in Westchester because he was terrible. Because of course the Knicks got the wrong Antetokounmpo. Because that's just how the Knicks roll. So, but the Paul George thing is funny because he is going to leave Indiana, right?
No, he's out.
He's not staying.
He wants to go to the Lakers, right?
Right. Why? I don't know why he wants to go to the Lakers.
Big market, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there's no point in him going to the Lakers, other than the fact that he just wants to go back to LA. He went to Fresno State for college. Yeah, I don't get it. He wants to play with D'Angelo Russell. Like, what do you want to do there, Paul?
That's bad. Yeah, Lonzo Ball, him and LeVar Ball can go get beers together after the game.
Oh my God, dude! I actually like LeVar Ball. He gets a lot of hate. I think he's funny.
He's annoying.
He's a wrestling character, bro.
Yeah, that's literally, and he'd be great at it. He's the best WWE character, but he's fucking with his son's future.
I don't know. I don't know if he's really messing with his son's future. I mean, at the end of the day, is he going to be taken number 2 overall?
Absolutely. The Lakers will pass on him.
So there's no, like, he's not really doing anything.
I want to see how his relationship with, like, Magic Johnson builds, and then if he ever gets to talk to Adam Silver, like, how that's going to go.
I think Magic Johnson's just going to be telling him to, like, fuck off. Like, Magic's not going to deal with him.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
It's Magic Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Magic's not going to deal with him.
But then LeVar's going to be like, I don't need no Magic Johnson.
And then he's going to be like,
better than Magic Johnson
under contract, and we can do whatever we want with him. So if he wants, if we want to send him off to Milwaukee, we can do that.
That's probably. I hope that's what they do.
LeVar, how you going to like Milwaukee, huh?
Yeah.
He's just doing this little press tour to like sell his Big Baller Brand stuff, and he's done a pretty good job of it, I think.
Yeah, even though he sold like 11 units of shoes.
He told Coward he sold like 500.
Yeah, that was a complete lie.
Well, I don't know, dude. Those things are fly. Like, you got to believe that some people are paying for them, right?
$4.95. You're paying $4.95 for shoes?
No, I'm not paying for.
I'm paying rent $4.95. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not paying $4.95 for shoes, but
no. Especially when the kid hasn't stepped foot on an NBA court. And saying Michael Jordan wasn't a big enough baller to sell his shoes at that price. Get out of here.
They're 6 shoes, though, right?
They are 6 shoes.
They are 6 shoes, bro.
They look like Kobe's.
You know who should not be wearing those shoes?
Who?
Isaiah Thomas.
Is he wearing those?
I don't think so. I think he's trying to get his own sneaker deal right now.
Oh, yeah?
And it's kind of ridiculous to me that he thinks
he's going to make kid sneakers?
like a Jordan made the J's for toddlers that cost like $60. Like that's what
his normal brand.
That's what Isaiah Thomas buys.
That's what he's wearing. Yeah.
Toddler J's. He's gone, right? As well.
He's gone.
He's got to be gone. I don't think the Celtics can build around him.
They're smart enough to send him. They know that they got enough to package, and they got a pretty good base. That I think that if you go get one legitimate superstar, you're a real team.
Well, see, here's the deal. They have to decide whether they want to get rid of IT4 or Avery Bradley, because they're both in contract years next year, and you can't build around both if you're going to draft Markelle Fultz, because one's going to have to sit the bench. Avery Bradley can't play the 3. And in my opinion, Avery Bradley's the better player. Avery Bradley's the best player on that team.
He's the best defender on that team, and he probably makes the biggest impact.
Which is what makes him the best player, in my opinion.
All right. I'll give you that.
I think that Isaiah Thomas, his offensive attributes, he can put in 30 a game. Like, that's great.
And that fourth quarter is huge, man. You can't discredit that.
That's great. But when you're giving up 30 points a game to your opponent, like
going +3 every game,
he's terrible. He can't play defense. It's not his fault that he can't play defense, but it might also be his fault. Like,
he can try. He can at least try to play some defense.
If you're 5'6", but he's not 5'9", if you're 5'6" and you can play offense like that, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to stay in front of somebody.
That you can play at least a little bit of defense. Yeah, once they get into the paint, it's out of your hands, and you hope that Al Horford comes in. But around the perimeter, you should be able to do something.
Yeah, I think the Celtics need to package him, and I think you were talking earlier about maybe him in the first pick.
Even if it's not this year's first pick, if you go next year's first pick.
Well, see, I don't know. See, him in the first pick overall, I think would be enough to get Paul George.
Oh, absolutely.
But would they be able to would they rather have Paul George or Jimmy Butler?
I think you go Paul George there.
See, I don't know. Because Jimmy Butler is a defensive juggernaut.
No, absolutely. He's huge.
He's so good at defense. He proved this year that he could play the 3 at basically an all-NBA level. I know I don't think he made an all-NBA team, but he
got robbed too.
He got robbed. Yeah, he's a great player.
He is.
I think he's a more natural fit at the 3 than at the 2.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't dribble well enough to be a guard.
Exactly, and he's not a good enough jump shooter from 3. Like, he's learning how to shoot, but
he's getting better at it.
He's a 3. I think I'd rather have Jimmy Butler than Paul George, because Jimmy Butler has not been talking about he wants to leave and he wants to go to LA and be in LA. He loves
Chicago.
He loves Chicago, and he seems like a loyal dude. Like, when Derrick Rose left, he was real upset about it because Derrick Rose was his boy. Yeah. Him and D Wade have been boys since they've been there. Like, Jimmy Butler just seems like an easy guy to get along with.
Absolutely.
When Paul George wasn't getting his last shot in Game 1 of the playoffs this year,
starts calling people out.
Yeah.
Paul George definitely seems like he's had a bit of a problem now in Indiana.
Yeah, he seems like he's done. He's just fed up. And Larry Bird's gone now, and so the new regime is going to try and build their own team. And I think it's time to get rid of Paul George, but I don't think Boston's the place.
But now if they're building, the best deal you're going to get is the number 1 pick and a legitimate scorer.
I mean, but I'm saying I don't think the Celtics would make it.
You don't think the Celtics would do that?
No, I think that if Jimmy Butler's on the board, I don't think they're going after Paul George.
There you go, Paul George. Okay.
No, because a lineup of, let's say they get rid of that first, so NIT. So you're going with whoever you can draft with your pick this year. Or do the Celtics have a pick? I don't think they do.
The Celtics have the number 1 pick.
Other than that.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
So they go in the second round, say they draft Frank Mason. Okay, Frank Mason is basically Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah. He's a young,
It's a stretch.
A lot to grow, but yeah, he can.
Right. It's a stretch to say that he's going to come in the NBA and score 30 points a game, but he's Isaiah Thomas that is less ball dominant.
Yeah.
He is a better decision maker. I think Isaiah Thomas is a very good decision maker, but I think that Frank Mason is a better decision maker with a basketball. He rebounds better.
Well, we got to see it in the NBA game too.
You're right, but if they go out and they make this trade for Jimmy Butler that we're just hypothetically talking about, and they sign Gordon Hayward so he comes back and plays for Brad Stevens again like he did in college.
Jeez.
That starting lineup, they could have Frank Mason off the bench.
Again, loaded.
With Avery Bradley at the 1.
Mm-hmm.
You go Jimmy Butler at the 2. You can move him up a slot. Both those dudes are like the 2 of the best perimeter defenders in the entire NBA.
Yeah.
You get Gordon Hayward, you score at the 3. You get Horford and then Olynyk.
Yeah. Who apparently play playoff basketball.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. 2 days ago, we saw one of the worst fights in the history of the MLB and fighting, for that matter.
Yeah, maybe.
It might have been worse than Kimbo versus Dada 5000. Hunter Strickland plunks Bryce Harper with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball in the hip. Bryce charges him out, throws his helmet into space, and then throws like 4 karate chop slaps, whatever he was doing, trying to hit Hunter Strickland. It was terrible. It was embarrassing. Nolan Ryan would be so mad if he saw someone act like that on the baseball field. My question to you is, was that Bryce Harper's first fight?
Yeah, I think it might have been. The way that he threw that open palm slap, he's never been to a fight before. Yeah, it was ugly. I think Nolan Ryan could still come kick his ass.
He might as well have been like covering his face and doing that.
Absolutely. That's all he was doing, basically.
That's what he was doing.
He's lucky Jeff Samardzija didn't come hit him. Jeff Samardzija, everyone was wearing the same color jerseys. You couldn't tell.
It was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen from someone who's that size. Bryce Harper's jacked.
He's a big guy.
He's jacked.
Yeah, but then as soon as you take that helmet off and you see that flow, you can tell he's never been in a fight before.
Well, I don't even know if it's the hair, because plenty of like people who can fight have cool, like pretty boy hair. Like Conor
that's all he cares about, though.
McGregor is pretty boy hair.
And Bryce Harper might be pretty boy of the year.
I mean, yeah, he's always in the nomination, right? But the way he can swing and hit a baseball, and I've seen, he throws a baseball like 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, why can't he throw a helmet? And what happened there?
Or even better, how about you get plunked in the hip, you just reach down, pick up the ball, and throw it right back at him?
Yeah, that would have worked too.
Yeah, he'd probably caught it, but like,
he's got the glove and everything. But
just let him know.
Yeah, I liked what he said though. I hate Bryce Harper. But I like that he said you either go to first base or you go after him, and I decided to go after him. I got a little bit of respect for that.
Well, I got some respect for it, but if you're gonna go after him, hit him. Like don't do what you did and be like a little pansy and come like halfway hit him. Like he looked like a dude who knew he had to fight but did not want to fight.
Didn't want to fight. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you ever seen those guys that get in fights and they're like halfway through they're like, oh shit, what did I just do?
Yeah. Why am I in a fight?
Like Robin Ventura, back to the Nolan Ryan reference, when he charged Nolan Ryan, the look on his face when he was about to be put in that headlock was, oh, shit, I fucked up.
Yeah, he knew he shouldn't be there.
He knew he shouldn't have been in that. Bryce Harper had the similar look. He looked like he was so mad that he was just like confused and didn't know how to throw a punch because he had never done it before. And
Hunter Strickland's a big guy. Like, it took 5 guys to carry him off. Why couldn't he throw a punch either?
Oh yeah, good point.
That was 2 punches.
For someone who throws at people as much as Hunter Strickland does, like you have to be able to protect yourself. Wasn't he the dude that didn't he throw Jose Batista as well?
Was that him?
I think he did. I don't know if he got charged for throwing at Jose Batista, but I know he did. Hunter Strickland
can't take a punch either. Gotta get Rooney Odor in here.
Oh my God, that guy! Oh, so last week when he was staring down Mark Melancon, it wasn't Melancon. It was Eric O'Flaherty. He hit that bomb when they were down 5 runs and stared down Eric O'Flaherty. Yeah. And O'Flaherty was like, I'm surprised he's ready to fight again. Like, Batista just needs to stop.
Yeah, he does.
I'm sick and tired.
Or he needs to learn how to fight. He's another big guy who needs to know how to fight.
Look,
these right fielders are soft.
Well, when he like geared up to punch Odor last year, and Odor just went, bah! Like got him real quick. I love they asked him after the game, and he was like, he's not rearing back to tickle me. Like, he's trying to, like, he's coming to hit me. Like, what do you want me to do? But he's like geared up, and he was trying to throw that punch from Pluto. And, like, he was just, I don't know. That was funny, though.
I want to see Noah Syndergaard now throw at Bryce Harper. Just right in the side, and Noah will kick the shit out of him, man. That's a big guy.
Do you think Noah Syndergaard knows how to fight?
I want to say yeah.
You want to say yeah?
You're 6'7", 260. I hope you know how to fight a little bit.
I mean, CC Sabathia is 6'7", 300 pounds. I doubt he knows how to fight.
He knows how to sumo wrestle.
Actually, CC's from the hood. He might know how to fight.
Yeah.
Wait, sumo wrestle? Come on, man. That's fake, man. He's better than any guy you got on your squad right now.
Yeah, okay.
The Mets are struggling, Ty.
Big time.
Mets are bad
right now, but 3-game winning streak, so I got hope.
Well, see, here's an interesting question about New York. Not rookies, but would you rather have Judge or Conforto from here going forward?
It's hard not to take Judge just because of how good he's been but he's only played 47 games. Like, this guy is a straight-up rookie who is lighting the world on fire. But I think if we're saying here on forward, I think I'd rather take Conforto because he's a little more proven. And he plays a little bit of a better field.
Okay, here's the deal. I don't think he is more proven at all. I don't think he really did anything last year or the year before that.
Go look at his April numbers from last year.
Okay, he had a good month.
He had a great month. And then he hit a huge slump and he went back down. But like you said, he played in 109 games in the MLB last year.
So what did he hit? 230 with 12 home runs last year?
And probably 8 of those home runs came in April.
And I definitely think it's okay to wait for someone to develop before you can cast judgment on them. Like last year, Judge played in 27 games. He hit 4 jacks, had 10 ribs.
Yeah. See, that's no sample size.
That's no sample size. But Conforto has played basically a full season before this.
Yeah.
And he was a 250 hitter.
He's also a kid. And they're developing him in the MLB.
No, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. The argument for Judge would be, do you know what his slugging percentage is right now?
It's got to be up around 600.
It's 689.
Jesus.
He is hitting the shit out of the baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
He hits the baseball, and I'm including Giancarlo Stanton, harder than anyone I've ever seen. Baseballs this year hit over 115 miles an hour. He has more than the entire MLB combined.
Yeah, I mean, he hits the piss out of the ball.
And it's not like he just hits home runs either because he's hitting 325.
Yeah.
He has
My problem with him is that he has 17 homers, but he only has 35 RBIs.
Well,
so half your RBI are you.
Okay, well,
he leads the league in runs scored, so that's impressive.
Yeah, he does. He has 39 runs scored. It's not his fault that he has 37 RBIs, and it's not really his fault when you think about it, because you're saying that your home runs don't count because you're only driving yourself in.
No, they count. But
so what's your argument?
Doubles, those singles and doubles, and the Yankees have someone on base. Starlin Castro basically is on base all the time now.
Starlin Castro has come down to earth recently, which is a little disappointing to say.
Yeah, just like all your Yankees are going to come back down to earth.
Well, I've been telling
you for months now.
I think that we're at earth. That's the point.
50 games in.
I think that's a big enough sample size to say that this is where
they're a great team right now.
It's really going to hit. And
I don't know if the pitchers are going to pitch like that though.
I don't really think that you can blame Aaron Judge for his lack of RBIs. See, okay, I'm looking at David Wright's numbers right now. This to put it in terms that you would relate to. In 2012, David Wright finished 6th in MVP voting, and he had 94 RBIs. Aaron Judge, in a month and a half, or 2 months, whatever, has almost half that.
Yeah.
And it's about people getting on base in front of you. And he has no problem driving people in. That's what he does.
Yeah, he hits home runs.
He
drives everybody in.
Well, he hits a lot of doubles as well.
Yeah.
Judge, that's why he's slugging 689.
That's crazy.
He's just killing the baseball, dude. He's got 6 doubles, 2 triples, 27 walks.
How many strikeouts?
56.
Yeah.
He strikes out a lot. Yeah, but he's got such a big strike zone that it's hard not to. It's like Stanton strikes out a lot.
How about Chris Davis with 59 strikeouts in his first 160 at bats? The dude is on pace to crush the all-time strikeout record.
That's held by Mark Reynolds, right?
I think so.
Yeah, former Yankee great for a season.
For one.
Terrible. Chris Davis was one of those guys who, like, when he got that contract, I was just like laughing at the Orioles.
Yeah.
Because he's not even the best Chris Davis in the MLB.
Okay. We're not going to give it to Chris Davis in Oakland, are we?
Oh, my God. Have you seen what he's doing?
Hey, he's got 16 homers. I get it.
The dude's
he's a home run hitter.
Would you rather have Chris Davis hitting 250 with 16 jacks or Chris Davis hitting 190 leading strikeouts?
No. I guess right now you're right.
Dude, the Orioles are terrible.
They're falling hard.
It's embarrassing, man. They can't pitch.
They can't pitch at all.
Pitch. Machado is entering his arbitration-eligible season, and he's hitting 220.
Not good.
You can't be. You know how hard it is going to be for him to bring it up to 300 from this point?
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be. He has to go on a month-long just absolute tear.
People aren't going to judge him just off this year either.
No, but
everyone knows that he's an all-star third baseman.
The arbitration committee is going to judge him off what he did this year.
And well, then he's not going to accept his arbitration offer, and he's going to leave.
And then he's going to go back to making rookie minimum. That's what.
Right.
Well, I mean, he's in a bad spot right now. He needs to start hitting.
Yeah, he does.
You know who else is in a bad spot? Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods is definitely in the worst spot maybe ever.
Everyone saw it, I guess. He came back, or the other night he had a DUI. He was driving at 3 a.m, got pulled over, blew a 0.00 at the police station after refusing to take a breathalyzer with the cops. What's your take on this? Because I really don't know what to make of it.
I've never been a Tiger Woods fan, being a Phil Mickelson fan in golf, but I feel bad for the guy. And it's kind of hard not to, especially because he did blow a 0.00. So if he has a bad reaction to the prescription meds, because God knows he's had more surgeries than like the rest of the world combined right now. But yeah, it's hard not to feel bad for him.
Yeah, I feel terrible for him. I had an eye surgery last year, 2 years ago. And I was on Oxycontin, and I would just cut them in half and take just the little ones because my eyes were in so much pain. And I can't remember that week. Like, I don't know what is he on?
He's on a lot.
He's on so many medications, and he's on medications for sleep. He has bad insomnia and can't sleep.
I was listening to SportsCenter this morning, and someone was saying that he was on Vicodins for the pain, and then he was on some anti-inflammatory, and they mixed terribly together.
It's a mistake. He probably didn't know. Tiger evidently drives like late at night to help him sleep all the time. And because you remember, I guess it wasn't to help him sleep, but when he had his first controversy, he was out at like 3 a.m. as well on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he wasn't sleeping that night.
He wasn't doing much sleeping. He was Elon beat the shit out of him with that golf ball. I love how that never became a story. Like, Tiger gets out of this like little minor backing into a mailbox or something.
Yeah,
and he's got all these cuts and shit all over him, and we just like don't accuse Elon of hitting him with the golf club that she beat the shit out of the car with.
She completely destroyed that car.
She destroyed the car, and she knocked the shit out of him. That's probably the cause of his back problems.
That was the best golf swing that club's seen, though, in a long time.
Oh, my God. That's so fake.
Well, hold on. Since we were talking about this yesterday when it happened, and you said in 2013 he won Golfer of the Year, and he finished the year ranked as 1, which is incredible because I totally forgot how hot he was that year. Since then, he's competed in 22 tournaments, and he has 1 top 10 finish.
How many of those has he pulled out of?
He's missed the cut in 7 of them, and he's probably withdrawn out of half of them.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's his back. I don't know if it's so much of his game as it is just injury, man.
I think a lot of it's in his head now too. At this point,
it might be. But when you're back, like, golf is so oriented on that like lower back,
the twist, all that torque,
and if you can't get any power behind it, then it's not like it's hard for me to blame him.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I think that he's still capable of coming back and winning a major.
You really think he's going to win a major?
It's impossible for me to not. Like,
he is the 876th ranked golfer in the world right now.
How many golfers have you ever seen better than him?
That I've ever seen? None. But I know one.
Jack
Nicklaus.
Jack, yeah. But it's impossible for me to say that he's never going to win another major when I've seen him win all these majors as the greatest golfer on earth.
He's got 14 of them.
For 10 years, no one gave a shit about golf. except for Tiger Woods.
No doubt. He's the reason that I started golfing.
He's the reason that I know anything about golf.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrible at golf. I hate playing golf because I'm just so bad. I have to buy like 10 golf balls every time I go.
Just to get through.
But when Tiger's playing, I'll turn it on because I want to watch him.
Yeah, and he always draws the biggest crowd.
He always draws the biggest crowd. And that has nothing to do with his play. That just has to do with the fact that he's Tiger. But I think, 4 years ago, 3 golf seasons ago, he was the best player on earth.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to say that due to back injuries, he can't recover from those because I think he can recover from back injuries. I think he just needs to take time off.
He definitely needs to take time off. I think in the last 3 years, Dustin Johnson's completely refined his game, and he is head and shoulders above everybody else, even Rory McIlroy.
Oh, yeah.
He's taken a step back. Then you got people like Day, Henrik Stenson, Spieth, Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas. There's just so many good young guys that it's going to be hard for Tiger to make a run. Speaking
of Willie win a major, shout out Ricky Fowler. Is he ever going to win a major?
I hope so, man. He's the guy that I want to win next.
Man, like in the NBA, we don't talk enough about how Kevin Durant has never won an NBA Finals.
Yeah, he's only been to one.
He's only been to one. Like, how about Ricky Fowler, who is one of the undisputed greatest golfers on earth, and my man can't win a major?
Hey, he's got a Players' Championship. And what he did that weekend 2 years ago is still one of the greatest golf outings I've ever seen. He stuck that 17th hole 3 times. I don't know if I can get up there. I'd hit 100 golf balls. I'm going to hit the green 2 times.
Do it on Sunday, Ricky.
Yeah, he did it he's got to do it Sunday at a major.
He's got to do it Sunday at a major.
Yes, sir.
All right, so last topic we got here. This weekend, live on pay-per-view, which I will not be paying for, UFC 212. I will be watching it. I will go to the bar or stream it illegally, one of the two. We got UFC 212. It is in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The top 3 headlining fights are Brazilians. I want your picks. I'm going to give you the Vegas odds real quick.
Okay.
So first off, we got Vitor Belfort against Nate the Great Marquardt. These two guys, I've been watching UFC for a decade now. The first UFC pay-per-view I bought was Muir versus Lesnar. It was, I think it was UFC 82.
Jeez,
so we're at 212. No, Lesnar was fighting when I was watching, yeah. But so I've been watching these guys since these guys were in their prime. Nate Marquardt used to be a great fighter. Right now he is at plus 130, and Vitor Belfort is at minus 160.
Okay.
Next fight, we got Claudia Gadelha versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
And just the invitation to go lose to Joanna.
Yeah. Well, so the funny thing is both these girls have 2 losses apiece. You know who every single one of those losses is to? Joanna champion. Yeah. Carolina lost to her in an amateur fight, and then her last fight was for the title, which she lost. And then Claudia has lost to her twice in the UFC. One of them was a championship fight. She lost one via split decision, though, so she made it close. And the big fight of the night that everyone wants to see that I still don't think will happen is Jose, the pullout king, Aldo versus Max Blessed Holloway. Holloway is minus 125. Aldo is minus 125. It's
right there's a push. That's an even fight.
Well, so it's a champion versus an interim champion. But before we get to that, let's go to Belfort versus Marquardt. Who's your pick here?
I think the Brazilian crowd is going to be happy here. I think Belfort's going to be able to keep it off the ground, because if he gets to the ground, I think he gets into big trouble. But if he can stand and trade blows, I think he can do it with anybody. I've known enough about this guy for a long time that he throws hands with just about anybody.
Yeah, Vitor loves to bum rush people. That's his thing. When he fought Gegard Mousasi, he came in and he I think it was his last fight, maybe the fight before. He came in, bum rushed him, tried to get into a big scrap, and then Mousasi managed to get out of the way. But Mousasi's one of the top ranked fighters in the world.
Okay.
Nate Marquardt is not.
Yeah, no.
They both lost their last 4 or 3 of their last 4. I don't think that Vitor is going to lose this fight. Not in Brazil.
Not in his home country, yeah.
Not in Brazil. If the fight's not going to decision, someone's getting knocked out, first off.
Absolutely. Those 38 and 40-year-old chins can't take too many punches.
Well, that and the fact that they can't last for 15 minutes in an octagon against each other. Belfort's going to knock him out, I think, or submit him. He's good at both of those things, but he's going to come out guns blazing. Have you ever seen the pictures of him on TRT?
No.
Okay. If you Google real quick, TRT Vitor Belfort, and then you look at what he looks like now, it's insane. So if you're listening, Google TRT Vitor. He is nuts.
Oh,
he was super
God.
jacked.
He is absolutely shredded.
Yeah. Now look at what he looks like now.
Yeah, now he's an old man.
Right. Well, so that was before USADA came in, the anti-drug administration, and started testing people. And USADA has this thing where, like, they'll try and test you in Brazil, but Brazilians will not, like, they don't like that shit. They don't like people coming in, taking their piss, and demanding that they get to test it. So it's kind of funny. I don't know if Belfort's going to actually, like, pass the USADA test, if that makes sense. I think this might be his last one, and I think he's going back on TRT.
Oh, yeah?
That's just completely reckless of me. But and the win can be taken away from him like that afterwards if they find that he was on TRT. But he wants to give the Brazilian crowd a show. I would not be surprised for him to drop the gloves in the octagon once he's done.
I think the man who gets knocked out is done.
I think they're both done.
Done?
Honestly, I think this is the last fight on Nate Marquardt's contract. He's not going to get renewed. He's terrible now. It's sad because he used to be so good. Nate the Great, but he's not getting renewed. Vitor Belfort's going to win this fight. I would take him at -160. Those are pretty decent odds, especially in Brazil. The Brazilians don't let Brazilians lose. They're going to back him. Nate Marquardt is going to get booed so hard. It's going to be funny. So next fight, we got Claudia Gadelha, Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Again, we'll say the battle to lose to Joanna Champion, who is the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in MMA today. That being said, I don't know who to take here. Okay, Karolina is +220, and Claudia is -280.
So it sounds like a pretty one-sided fight. But
well, see, neither of them have lost anyone but Joanna.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the issue. They both look really good. Claudia is better at submitting people. Karolina, if she
Karolina doesn't even go for submissions.
Yeah, it's going to be a decision if she wins.
Karolina, that's what she kind of fights for. She's the Floyd Mayweather of UFC.
Well, the thing with women, they're strawweight or bantamweight. Sorry, they weigh like 115 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how hard it is to knock someone out?
Well, you're also trying to knock out a girl who's 115 pounds. But looking at Claudia Gadelha, she ain't getting knocked out.
No, she is stout.
This girl is, she's stacked.
She is stacked. I'm not going to count Karolina out. I think +220 is great value on her.
Absolutely.
If you're a betting man. But my issue would be is that this fight is going to go to decision. And then Brazilian judges
are going to favor her.
Dude, it happens a lot in Brazil. Fights that go decision are going to Brazilians. That's just how it works. The fans will freaking riot. I remember
especially if it's a Polish chick who takes the win.
Yeah, exactly. I remember Chael Sonnen fought Anderson Silva in Brazil, and he was winning the fight. And it looked like he tapped out, and it was in the 5th round with like a minute left, maybe not even. And he tapped out in like this loose arm triangle. Just, I think it was because he didn't want to get his ass kicked by the strong Brazilians, losing to their hero, Anderson.
Yeah.
He has said on record that he thought like multiple times. He drove around in an armored car in Brazil. Wow. He had drivers in an armored car. He wouldn't let his wife come. Like, he's worried that they're going to just get killed. Those Brazilians are crazy, man. And I don't think that if it's left to the judges that they're going to give it to Karolina. I just don't. I
don't think so either. I think Claudia actually might knock her out.
I don't know if she can knock her out, but I think she can submit her. Karolina's a tough chick, dude.
I mean, if you go 5 with Joanna, you can almost go 5 with anybody.
And the thing is, Claudia only has 2 TKOs.
Oh, yeah.
But that does mean that she has power in her hands. Like, Karolina's not knocking out anybody.
No.
Karolina is 10-1-0, and she has 1 knockout.
1 knockout. And I think it's a technical knockout. It's not even a knockout.
Yeah, it was a TKO in her first fight. It was in EFS 2, which is like not even a fighting league, extreme fighting league.
Yeah.
So it's like facing UFC competition. So the big fight of the night, the one that I'm actually interested in, if it happens.
It's going to happen.
I don't know. Jose Aldo.
Joey's making all the way.
Do what?
He's making it all the way. We're in this deep. He's got to make it to Saturday. He's going to make it.
He's pulled out of so many fights, bro.
Yeah, but those were all during camp while he was hurt.
No, they were like a week before. That's my issue with him. He cancels pay-per-views. He just kills them. He is undisputedly one of the greatest fighters ever.
Absolutely.
Especially at 145 pounds. He is the I wouldn't say the rightful champion. He holds the fake belt, and Max Holloway holds the faker belt because the real belt is held by King Connor.
Absolutely.
Who would just not drop down to 145 because it would kill him. But so Aldo's coming back 2 fights off of getting knocked out in 16 seconds, and he's facing Max Holloway, who took Connor to decision. One of 2 guys to do that in the UFC. He's got some very, very dangerous hands.
And they're quick, man.
Yeah, they're so fast,
He's
man.
Fast, man. But I like Aldo in this.
I also like Aldo.
I like Aldo, especially with the Brazilian crowd. I don't think we talk about it so much, but I think that's really going to come into play here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
English guy, and they hate the English there. And I'm pretty sure Max Holloway's from the UK. No?
No, Max Holloway's from Hawaii, bro.
Oh, yeah? Why isn't he repping he reps like an English flag when he comes into the
Hawaiian flag, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, well,
it doesn't look English at all.
You never know. But Aldo, that was a fluke in 16 seconds, and that shouldn't even been called off. I still stand by that. He was
out.
He was coming back up.
He was out cold.
He was holding him down.
When you're knocked out, you don't get to come back up and get knocked out again.
Connor's not getting in the fight for a reason. Connor's not coming back to 145 not just because it would kill him.
No, look at the pictures of him on that weigh-in day, bro. It nearly killed him to make that weight.
That's where he fought most of his career, though.
But he's bigger now. He's lifted weights. He's gotten stronger. He's developed as a human.
Because he wanted to go fight Nate. I think that if he wanted to drop back
he didn't want to fight Nate. The first fight was scheduled against Rafael dos Anjos.
Yeah.
Who was the champion, and he took Nate.
That's when Connor got jacked.
When he got submitted, but he was winning the fight.
No, I'm saying that's when Connor got jacked up. When he was looking big.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, because he was going up to fight because he couldn't. They were saying the weight cut was so unhealthy for him, and I believe it. He wasn't going into the octagon and fighting at his right size, fighting at a size that it would be like, what are you, 160 pounds?
Yeah.
So Connor walks around at 170 pounds. So he's cutting 30 pounds.
Yeah, but when that's what you fought most of your career at, I have a hard time believing that you can't get back down to it.
I do. I don't. I think it's hard I think he could get back down to it. He's going to fight Floyd at 150, I think.
So what, 5 more pounds is going to kill the guy?
Yeah, it might. It might, dude. It's hard. Did you ever wrestle?
No.
Okay, I wrestled for a long time. I had to cut weight down I cut down to 112. And I was 130 one summer. And cutting down to 112, I thought was going to kill me. And Connor is a professional.
Yeah. Which means he also has a better time doing it.
But going in there against dudes who are trying to murk you.
Yeah.
And if you're not at full strength, that's tough.
If Aldo ever called that man in the ring again, it's not going to last 16 seconds.
The thing is,
that thing is going deep.
Aldo hasn't earned a rematch. What has he done to get one?
He hasn't even fought, right, since?
No, he's fought once. He fought Mendez, and then he won.
Okay.
But he hasn't done anything to get a rematch because you got knocked out in 16 seconds, bro.
26-2. I think he's earned the right to fight whoever he wants.
Not Connor. Connor's earned the right to. Connor is the biggest draw in UFC.
Obviously,
he has the right to say, "I am not going to fight you because A, you pull out of almost every card. B, I knocked you out in 16 seconds, bro. I got nothing more to prove."
Nah, that's basically what he's saying.
He touched him with that left-handed death, and he went.
And he went to sleep.
Yeah, so, I mean, in the fight, I think it's going to go to decision. I got Jose. Jose's not losing in Brazil.
Yep.
He's still a great fighter. As much shit as I talk about him, he's amazing.
He's great. He might be the second best pound-for-pound fighter of all time.
Behind who?
You put him behind Silva.
Man, that's a good debate. I don't think I put Aldo there, but because he picks and chooses his fights, which I don't really hate anyone for. But
this isn't a hand-picked fight. Max is not a guy that you're just taking hand-picked.
Max isn't the guy that you take handpicked. He had to fight Max because Max has the fake belt. Yeah. He has like the third fake belt, right? Connor has the real belt. Mm-hmm. Jose has the fake belt. And Max has the belt that you go buy at Walmart. And
it might as well be a WWE belt.
Whoa, what are you saying?
Yeah, that you can get at Walmart.
All right, y'all. Well, this has been the Sports Dorks Podcast, episode 1. If you like it, click the subscribe button below. You can also find us on iTunes. The link will be in the podcast description. Till next week, I'm Zach. That's Ty. Thank you, guys.